the way the others would treat him, the way others would give him something to eat, etc. He just did not resist anything. So just like Jad person, Jad Bharat. And when he's just like we sometimes say, a mad person, any worldly things, what to eat, what to wear, how to keep oneself clean, this and that, whatever. So he just behaved like a totally retarded, a totally mad person. But he actually was a Paramhamsa. He behaved like that. So therefore, his policy was not to resist anything, whatever would come to him. Even if people came to kill him, just imagine, someone can fake for some time. Right? But when it comes to killing a person, he did not even resist that. That's quite height of. He would not even resist someone coming to kill him. So that means he was not acting. In one sense, he was not acting. So he was situated on a platform beyond the body, and he did not resist anything that would come to him. So therefore he was forcibly recruited. You just carry a palanquin. There was no package decided or whatever amount. Like I remember in Vrindavan, there is Char Dham of Braj. One of the places, Kedarnath. In Vrindavan, the Char Dham of Braj. It's also in mountains. Just the replica in Vrindavan, it's in mountains. And there is the Kedarnath, and there is a steep slope of Kedarnath. To go to Kedarnath temple of Braja, Char Dham, you have to walk up the steep slope. Most people cannot walk.
Mm-hmm.
So there are palanquins. Because so many people find it difficult. Those who have any kind of knee problem. These palanquin people, they have a lobby. They charge 1,500 rupees. It is 20 minutes for them. This is a huge amount they charge. And there is no negotiation. Right? Because they all have one lobby. They all are together. So no one will give anything for less. It was a huge price. So no one told Jad Bharat, you will get something, right? There was no, or we tried to negotiate with somebody or whatever. So no price was set, no reward to him. He was just forced, carry the palanquin. For what? Nothing. I mean, he's not going to be paid anything or given something to eat or whatever. Nothing. Just forced. So it was quite an unfair deal in one sense. But he did not resist. He did not resist. See, many times, this is one lesson over here. Many times we feel people are acting unfair in my life. This is what happened to me was very highly unfair. हमारे साथ नाइंसाफ हुआ है, नाइंसाफी in India they call नाइंसाफी. This is unfair. But actually, if we are righteous, by the laws of the nature, by the laws of Krishna, nothing unfair can happen with a fair person. Actually, it may happen, something unfair may happen that may destroy our own previous karma, but still know for sure that one who is righteous, one who is fair in his own right, he will not meet unfair treatment. People of this world cannot give him unfair treatment because it's not within their hands also. Ultimately, Krishna is in control. Because by his laws of nature, and person may fight for justice, try, to do something, undo something which is unfair, that may not go away. And the person may not fight for the justice, but the justice may come to the person also. Ultimately, know for sure what happens to us, no one can do anything unfair to us. Because beyond their control is the control of Krishna. The laws of God, laws of nature. Therefore, though we may sometimes try to deal with the situation, or sometimes we may try to escalate, what is happening is not right, this and that. Internally we should know nothing unfair can happen without the sanction of the Lord. Without there are superior laws which are operating beyond the laws of this world. So internally we should accept, if something unfair has happened, I deserve it. I deserve it because I may have done something unfair to somebody else. Or Krishna wants to teach me some lesson, he wants to purify me. So we can take both the stand. Better it is that yes, I should have done something unfair, must have done something unfair. It's coming back to me. And also, it's also Lord's mercy, my purification, the Lord wants me to learn some lessons and so on and so forth. So like that. So that, yeah, there is a question by Devarshi Srivas Dasa. Yes, bro.
Bro, it's Shastra, that what you said.
Yes.
And it's true. Shastra is always true.
Yes.
But in our life,
Can you
practically,
take microphone? People want to take the microphone.
in our life, practically, like going through that situation is very difficult.
Yes.
Even we saw in the life of Dhruva Maharaj,
Hmm.
he was telling to Narad Muni that I am
You
very
were
sorry.
telling him, and you were telling him, yes, same thing, yes. He could not accept.
Yeah.
Right.
So in that situation, like yesterday night, I got hacked with my channel, like YouTube. And I got notified it's by 2 a.m. So when I saw that 40 minutes before someone tried to hack your account, then I just wake up and trying to resolve it. And at morning one devotee said that no need to give time to solve it. You should chant at 2 a.m. Then it will be solved automatically. So how we can practically actually,
That is misapplication of the philosophy. The chanting Hare Krishna will solve the problem of being hacked. If you are feeling sick, sometimes having fever, you chant extra round. No, you have to go to the doctor. You chant extra round, no problem. That is good for your spiritual progress, but you have to go to the doctor also. Very simple. We are not talking that. We are talking that whatever difficulties come to us, we have to deal with them. But to deal with them there is a struggle. Right? So whatever struggle we face, accept it also that this is also, otherwise people say, why this happened to me? Why I had to undergo this struggle? Why I got the disease? Why I got this problem? Or why someone created problem for me? Whatever. So we have to undergo many. But you have to deal with every situation in a practical way. But even dealing with the situation in a practical way is consumes so much energy, time, and struggle. So much effort, hard work, effort, pain we have to take to deal with any challenge. We have to deal with them. So accept all that struggle that we have to undergo in this world as also not something which is unfairly done by somebody. This is also take it as my own purification, which is required for me to practice. Not remember. This is coming on flower garland. Probably. Okay. So that's the point. The whole thing is, see, there are two things. Externally we deal with the situation, but dealing with the situation externally is easy when we accept it internally. That yes, what has happened is actually also my own doing that has taken place. That is one level. Little higher level is, this is also Krishna sending me some purification, and ultimately is Krishna's mercy. So accept it internally. And what happens, dealing externally, you are better equipped. You will not break down. Therefore, these two things have to take place simultaneously. Whatever difficulties, struggles life brings, deal with externally while internally don't blame others. Don't blame others. Accept it on your own. That's the point. Right? So anyway, Jad Bharat was policy was simple. Whatever would come, he would just accept it, which is very, very high level of advancement. He just accepted it. Another important point mentioned here is Prabhupada's point describes the non-violence. So Prabhupada says, look, he was forced to carry the palanquin. He's a Brahmana, he's not supposed to carry. He's forced to carry the palanquin. That means he's put in the job of a Shudra in one sense. But he did not, he just accepted that. He did not reject that. But he also did not forgot, even in that difficult circumstance. Now, his Brahmana is being forced to do the work of Shudra over here. First of all, amongst the devotees, Lord Chaitanya said, Naham Vipro Nacha Narvati Nami Vaishya na Shudro. I am not a Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra. Sometimes devotees also feel like, I am also Brahmana, I will not do Shudra work. What is this? So sometimes devotees may feel. But Lord Chaitanya said, I am neither a Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra. That means I will do the work of either to serve Krishna. That is the import of that. That means I will do anything to serve whatever is required. So that is a sign of surrender. We don't identify with the Varna. We will do the work of any of them, provided I can do whatever I am within my capacity. I will do the best to serve Krishna. So therefore, Lord Chaitanya himself does the cleaning work. Maharaj Pratap Rudra doing the work of a Bhangi. So many examples. So therefore now the point here is he has been forced. The Brahmana has been forced to do the work Shudra, which is not natural to him. That means what will happen? You are forced to do something which you are not meant to do. The mind is in anxiety, but the mind is stressed. But even in that stressful condition, Jalbharat did not forget his Brahmanical duties. That means of being compassionate. So the whole thing is, in difficult circumstances, how much we have imbibed Bhagavatam will be tested in difficult circumstances. How much we have imbibed Prabhupada's teaching, that will be tested in difficult circumstances. So Brahmana is practicing non-violence in very nice circumstances. But when the difficult circumstances are there, then he is able to practice his duty. Then he is risk of being punished also. You will see that the king threatens him to punish, but still he doesn't give up his values of a Brahmana, the duty of a Brahmana. So then he is a Brahmana. So he is non-violent by nature, and therefore he sees some ants on the ground, and then he takes a pause, or he takes a small step. Right? Like you have to take, while all four are going, you have to take a regular step. So sometimes he will take a small step, sometimes he will take a long step. So there is all the jerks are going in the palanquin, carrying the palanquin. So he is not walking with the proper rhythm because he doesn't want to step on the ant. So Prabhupada says, this is a nice, very important line. Prabhupada says, although Jad Bharat in the very beginning was forced to carry the palanquin, he did not give up his sympathetic feeling towards the poor ants passing on the road. A devotee of the Lord does not forget his devotional service and other favorable activities, even when he is in most distressful condition. This is a very important line. The third line, this we have to practice. So we will be tested in difficult circumstances, distressful condition. A devotee of the Lord does not forget his devotional service and other favorable activities, even when he is in most distressful condition. Okay, so, and also Prabhupada says the Vaishnava is never envious or unnecessarily violent. So these two important teachings come forth from here. Yes, please read the next translation.
When the palanquin carriers heard the threatening words of Maharaj Rahugana, they became very afraid of his punishment and began to speak him as follows.
Okay, so now he said he spoke in a the king did not speak in a requesting way. He spoke in a commanding way. Why are you doing this? You better get it properly. That means if you don't, you will be punished. So it was clear that if they make any further mistake, they will be punished. So therefore they decided to clarify that we are not the wrongdoers. We are not making any mistake. We have to put this new person. he is not walking in rhythm with us. Go ahead, read.
O Lord, please note that we are not at all negligent in discharging our duties. We have been faithfully carrying this palanquin according to your desire. But this man, who has been recently engaged to work with us, cannot walk very swiftly. Therefore, we are not able to carry the palanquin with him.
Okay, so they have clarified their position. That we are trying to, do our duty properly, but the fourth person who has been recently recruited, he is not, walking in rhythm with us. So there is no fault on our part. So they have done their job of communicating, clarifying their situation. And Prabhupada again says, how can Shudra and a Brahmana work in compatibility? Right? So there is a natural incompatibility that is taking place over here. And so Prabhupada says, the second line, Shudras do not sympathize with other living beings, but a Vaishnava cannot act like a Shudra. Yeah. So, okay. So, yeah. Therefore, sometime there is incompatibility, and it is no one's fault in one sense. They are doing their duty. They are Shudras. They are just walking. They don't have to bother about whether stepping on hand, this and that. And Brahmana is doing his duty. He just can't step on the hands. But now there is the incompatibility that has taken place. So many times, there is a conflict between two people, and both are right, but they are not compatible. It's not that this person is right, this person is wrong. Just like to give one example. There was a husband-wife. The husband would keep everything very neat, clean, tidy, fold everything, do everything. And the husband, would keep everything properly. Of course, usually it is the other way around many times. The husband throws away the things and the wife keeps it properly. The husband was accustomed to keep everything very neat, clean, keep the shoes on the rack, the proper position, right? And the wife was accustomed to leave the shoes at the door only and never keep in the rack. And throw something here, throw the clothes here, come and remove the jacket and put it here. You see? So, and then there will be a clash. And he would say, this is not the right way to do things. What's wrong in doing this? So there is different kind of training. There is some kind of incompatibility. If the husband doesn't mind, if both are accustomed to throwing things here and there, no one will mind. If both are accustomed to keeping things properly, then both will be compatible. Right? So, many a times in this world, there is in a conflict, it's not the question of right and wrong. In sometime in the relationship, there could be incompatibility also. When some devotees are serving together, right? So, or there is one person under another person, there is a conflict taking place. Maybe they are incompatible natures. He is not able to serve under him person. Not that the person is not willing, not sincere, and he is not surrendering to authority, but he just can't act in certain ways when authority accepts him. So therefore, before judging people, so it's very easy to judge person. He is not sincere, he is not following what we are saying, he is not following. Judge Bharat is not sincere, he is not following the command of the king. Something like that. No, his training and nature is different. He is unable to. He is unable to. So there is an incompatibility. So many times in relationship, any kind of relationship, there may not be insincerity or not accepting, not respecting or accepting authority. There could be sometimes incompatibility also. and then one can try to fit the person in the right service, and so on and so forth, and the both may be happy. They both may be happy. So like that. So the incompatibility has taken place over here basically. Note down the question. We'll keep all the questions for the last. Because we are having only one session. I can't say we'll cover this chapter tomorrow. Tomorrow is a presentation and then I'm not here. Day after tomorrow. I'll be out for 1 month, another 1 month. Okay.
King Rahugoda could understand the speeches given by the carriers who were afraid of being punished. He could also understand that simply due to the fault of one person, the palanquin was not being carried properly. Knowing this perfectly well and hearing their appeal, he became a little angry, although he was very advanced in political science and was very experienced. His anger arose due to his inborn nature as a king. Actually, King Rahugoda's mind was covered by the mode of passion, and he therefore spoke as follows to Jadbharat, whose Brahman effulgence was not clearly visible, being covered like a fire covered by ashes.
Okay, so King Rahugoda was quite an upright and righteous king. Actually, he was quite upright, quite righteous, quite knowledgeable king. But the nature of the king's job is a mode of passion. So therefore it is mentioned that he became angry due to the innate nature as a king. He became angry on Jadbharat, that is not carrying the palanquin properly. So so therefore one thing that can be said is that because he became angry due to the innate nature of passion, which is the duty of a king also, because the king is, by nature, the king means there will be passion involved. So because of the nature of his work description, job, service, he has some passion, and therefore he became angry. Therefore, in one sense, he is becoming angry because of the nature in which he is situated is not to be considered an offense over here. He is not becoming angry because of envy towards somebody. You see? So sometimes we may feel, sometimes some devotee out of nature. I remember there was one devotee. He had a short temper nature, and he would correct devotees if you would see any small transgression. And he was short tempered nature, and if you see any transgression, he would correct them. And his words were also little sharp, because he was trained in that way, right? So no sweet covering, no nothing, straightforward, right? Without anesthesia, do the surgery. That was the training, the old days. No, it's taught, that you do surgery first with anesthesia, this, that. After surgery also there is anesthesia, after which whatever. So he was trained in the old school of thought. That feedback with no, with no butter first before whatever. So direct. So we were trained like that, and we give direct feedback. See any wrong somewhere, see any deviation, give the feedback. So many devotees would be troubled by that, and they would feel, why did he do like that? What did he say? Why does he become angry with us? This, that. But that devotee had no envy or malice in his heart. He was doing with the feeling of helping them. But other people considered him to be like a villain. But he had no ill feelings at all. He had no ill feeling at all. Of course, one should be more sensitive in dealing, but he had no ill feeling. So therefore, his talking, though it was not appreciated, and though we say that it's more sensitive to others, it may be translation of etiquette sometimes, but it was not offensive because he had no malice in the heart. When does offense take place? When there is malice of the heart. When we speak something to someone, right, that is the grave offense. Otherwise,
Antore
the not.
bish.
Huh?
Mukhe modu antore bish.
So that is the offense when we, even if we speak, as Prabhu said, even if we speak outside very sweetly, but inside the ill feeling is there, offense may be there. But if there is no ill feeling in the heart, there could be transgression of etiquette, and that is not considered a serious offense by the law. Sometimes transgression of etiquette. That is not considered a serious offense. It is not. It may be slightly offensive. If we transgress the etiquette, it may be slightly offensive. But a serious offense is when there is a serious offense means it is coming out of envy for somebody. Like Gopal Chapal, envy towards Srivas Thakur. So the grave offenses are born out of envy. Other smaller offenses are not taken very seriously by the Lord. If a devotee is sincere in bhakti and sincere in seva, all the minor offenses are dissolved. It's not that one has to go and fall at Vaishnava's feet every time. One may, one may sometimes not follow etiquette because of one's past nature, upbringing, training, and so on. So, but if there is no ill feeling, if there is a feeling of desire to help them, so I know that this person who would speak in this way, and others would take offense, but he had no ill feelings. So others, when they considered him in a negative light, they had difficulties. This person did not. They had difficulties. So other way around, because his intentions were not impure. His intentions were genuine. Because of his sabhav, because of his nature, he would sometimes speak in a direct, cutting way. Because of his nature. You see, that's the nature of a person. So therefore, what we are discussing is, the point we are making is the different people have different nature, there could be incompatibility. But if the person is sincere, we may tolerate a person's nature, knowing that this person is acting out of nature. And not think that this person is offensive towards me. See, when something is spoken, is the person speaking like this out of the nature, or is speaking out of envy towards me? Most of the time we think this person hates me. The person speaks, this person doesn't like me. This person has negative feelings towards me. Most time when we receive some cutting feedback, we think this person has ill feelings. But if that person doesn't have, and we think this person is ill feeling, we are actually offensive, that person is not.
So deep.
You got the point? Therefore, you have to see that no, this person is just doing this out of his nature. But this person is actually sincere. He is actually my well-wisher. So it's very subtle, very deep. We may consider that person is offensive, and that may be a bigger offense. If that person is not offensive.
You can give any of that also.
Huh?
You can give any of
Yes, that's the best thing. That's the best thing. Therefore, don't consider that anyone is envious of you. Don't consider he is offending me. Just say this is the nature of that person. Never mind. But he is actually a nice devotee and a well-wisher. So this attitude will help.
Is there any instance
So here only.
from
So
special
here Jad Bharat is not wanting to give trouble to the king. He is only acting out of his nature. Or the other Palingam character may think he wants to put us in trouble, therefore he is not walking with us. You see, he wants to put us in trouble, therefore he is not walking in a rhythm with us. They may think. Or the king may think that this person is not obeying my order. He is insincere. He may judge. The king may judge, the other Palingam character may judge. But he is just, his he's following his nature. Neither he wants to put the other palanquin carrier in trouble, nor he wants to give inconvenience to the king. You see, he is acting by his nature. He is a Brahmana, acting by his nature. So when someone acts by one's nature, and it's acquired nature also, even Brahmana or whatever, the conditioned nature is acquired in this world. Of course, Jadabharati is beyond that. He is beyond. But in this world, passion, ignorance, goodness, whatever, or the mixture of three, people act by their nature. And we think this person purposefully is doing this, to put me in trouble. Always, this is the thought in the conditioned soul. No, this person is being governed by the nature. Don't judge people. They're acting in the nature. So if they don't want to trouble me or something, this person acting by nature. So there is incompatibility taking place. So let's try to resolve if we can, or have to tolerate for some time. But I should not judge that this person purposefully wants to put me in trouble.
So who is judging? He cannot justify himself that I am also doing my nature. I am judging, or like here.
No, that's what I'm saying. If we are following our nature, we are not talking when we judge others in devotional life. If our nature has become to judge, then it will degrade us. Now we know we are talking that we want to follow, we want to overcome the conditioned nature as devotees. So we now just think, okay, this person is following the nature. Like he is not purposely wants to trouble me. But if he continues to follow his nature, he may not advance. Ultimately, we have to overcome our conditioned nature. So I do not judge and I overcome my conditioned nature of judgment, and then how I will advance. I should not justify my nature. I should not justify my conditioned nature. But I should not judge others' intentions. I am not saying their nature is very good nature. I am not saying that. But they are not having bad intentions. That's the whole point. They are acting by their nature. And it's not that they should continue to act by their nature. I am not saying that also. They should take responsibility of their nature. I should take responsibility of rectifying my nature. So if my nature has become to judge them, which is most of us, then I am harming myself. If they do not rectify themselves, they are harming themselves. If I do not rectify myself, I am harming myself. So that's what we discussed. No one can harm us unless we ourselves allow them to harm us.
Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati said.
Yeah. What is the statement?
No one can make harm in your bhakti if your mind not become obstacles.
Yeah. Basically, no one can harm us. Only we succumb. Only we are our own number one enemies. No one in this world can actually do any harm to us. Only when we have the negativity in our heart, in the mind, then we are harmed. That is our main harm. That's the whole point. And so therefore we have to rectify our nature. Others have to rectify their nature. And don't judge others. When others create problem for us, say they are acting by their nature. Acting by their nature. So like
It is very high that you said before, it also touched me, like the whole world, no one can make harm. Like if we do bhakti, if we think that someone not actually helping me to go up, sometimes we think like that as a subordinate, that my senior authority not giving me chance to uplift or do some big preaching. So it is the like our nature that if we rectify ourselves, then Krishna will give chance like that.
Right.
So it's very peaceful if we understand and convinced.
if you take the responsibility on yourself in the terms of that if something you feel is not happening good, I only owe the responsibility of that, then you will progress. Take the responsibility, you rectify yourself. So he simply says, Bhakti Bhagat Maharaj, he has one sutra, he said, don't change the world, you'll be frustrated. Change yourself. you'll be happy. Now simple sutra. You want to change the world, you'll be increasingly frustrated. Or whatever, world means outside, anything outside. You change yourself. There is some problem. Always look, there is something deficiency in me. There is some lack of understanding in me. There is something I need to improve. You improve yourself and you will be happy. You will advance. So, this is a simple sutra. Don't change the world, change yourself. That's it. Bhagavatam also always apply the principles of Bhagavatam on yourself. Bhagavatam is first meant to be imbibed before being instructed. Therefore, imbibe Bhagavatam. Don't tell others, do this, do this, do this. This is what Bhagavatam says. No. I have to apply this. That's the sutra or that's the Bhagavatam essence. One of the essential principles to be progressive, to be happy. Okay, so we talked about the incompatibility. This person doesn't want to trouble me, his nature is like this. And I don't like this nature. I don't like this nature. Whose problem is that? That person's problem? My problem?
My problem.
My problem. Therefore, solution, I apply. I change myself. This person speaks like this and it hurts me. I don't like the way he speaks. I don't like. The problem is me, not with that person. That person speaks the way he speaks. I don't like. Because my nature is different. So, instead of trying to change him, change yourself. And then, you'll be happy. So, incompatibility. See the incompatibility. There is incompatibility, and because of incompatibility, I apply. Either I adjust or I request for a change, whatever, without judging the person, without criticizing, without blaming, etc. Fine? Okay, so go ahead. Next 5.
King Rahugana told Jadbharat, "How troublesome this is, my dear brother. You certainly appear very fatigued because you have carried this panic."
Oh, wait a minute. 5th or
6.
5th हो गया ना?
हाँ.
5th you have read already?
Yes, yes.
You also told about
Oh, अच्छा. Okay, he became. Oh, yeah. Knowing that, because of his nature he became angry. What I'm saying, king out of his nature he became angry, and that is not to be considered an offense, not to be considered a major offense, because the nature of the king, he may become angry, and he has become angry over a Jad Bharat. So even Jad Bharat would not take it offensive because he will still give his mercy. You see, had Jad Bharat judged him, or this is a great offense, you shouting at me or whatever, Jad Bharat saw that king had shouted at me because of his innate nature of passion. Therefore, he also did not take it offensive. But the king, when he understood the Mahabhagavad, he took it as a great offense. You see how subtle it is? Jad Bharat understood that it is because of his nature of the kingly work, he spoke in anger, out of passion. Therefore, he did not consider it to be offense, and he still gave his mercy to Jad Bharat. Say to Rahugana. Still gave his mercy. He did not withhold his mercy. Understood? Because he is an uprighteous person, he is a knowledgeable person. Just because he is put in this particular job, he has passion and he is acting out of anger. Therefore, he still gave him instruction and mercy. But when he understood this position, Rahugana considered his remarks to be offensive. Right? So then he took the responsibility. You see, instead of Rahugana telling that your remarks was offensive, and he telling, no, it was out of my nature I spoke. That would not have been a right thing. Rahugana considering, no, it is not very offensive. No, it's my offense. You see how he takes the responsibility. While Rahugana doesn't judge his intention. So this is the healthy nature of thought process, how a Vaishnava should think. He should not judge others, he should discount their mistakes. When the person has committed a mistake, he should not say, this is not a mistake. He should take full responsibility. another part. But even other person is not taking full responsibility, I should do my duty, irrespective. I should do my duty. It's not that only if they do their duty, then I'll do my duty.
Prabhu.
You got the point? So our sense of duty should not be dependent upon other person doing their duty.
Prabhu, in that situation, like as a manager or superior, like superior means in the sense of that temple seniority. So if someone like do the mistake and after giving them understanding that it is a mistake, then also he like some kind of not accept and still pretend. Then how to deal?
So you're saying you give a feedback to somebody that you have done a mistake, but the person doesn't accept or pretend to accept the mistake, but continue to do the mistake.
Doing, yeah.
Ravana also will continue to do the same mistake. No nonsense. Like the king has pointed out the mistake, right? King has pointed out the mistake, and Ravana hears, but he still continues to do the mistake, as we shall see here, right? He did not correct himself. So now I have given the feedback, but this person is not correcting himself. Then what? That means the person is not sincere. That is usually the authority will also say. But again, this person, again see, probably is why he is not able to follow. Due to whatever reason, so we have to go a little deeper to help that person. Either he is probably not fitting in that role in this service, or his upbringing, today's upbringing. Again, there could be a chance that this person is insincere, but that chance is very less, actually. If as authority you correct somebody, one who's come to bhakti, and that person is doesn't follow, still acts wrongly, there is a small chance that he is not sincere. Small chance. But there is a much greater probability this person, why is not able to act as per my instruction? Because the conditioning is very strong. Because baladi unayojita. He wants to, but unable to. Conditioning will be very strong. Again, so the upbringing, the conditioning, incompatibility, he is not happy in this service. So he is not able to put his heart. You see, so therefore there could be many other reasons. Or he is unable to. He doesn't want to be impolite to you by saying that I cannot do it. Therefore he says, okay Prabhu, I'll do it. Because he wants to be polite to you. But he is unable to do it. And you say, you have told you will do it. And now you are not doing it. That means you are rascal. No, he doesn't want to be impolite to you. Therefore, he is polite and the respect. But he is not able to do. Therefore, you should understand that he is not able to do. That is not insincerity. He is just not able to do because of certain reasons, and he is not able to express also many times because in front of the senior, many people can't open up fully. Therefore, you should understand that it is because of this person's certain reasons, valid reasons, he is not able to act. Therefore, let me help him in some way. Compassionately ask. So you sit down, before, if you judge and say you are not doing this, if you want a judgmental remark, he will not open up. But if you compassionately sit and ask that, I told you to do this, but I see you are not able to do. So, therefore, probably there is something I am sure you want to do, but not able to do. Right? So you approach like this. I am sure you want to do, but not able to do. Can you tell me the reason I can help you? Then that person will open up. Why he is not able to do what we expect him to do. So therefore, that approach you will be able to help that person out. Otherwise, again, if we judge that person as authority, insincere, not wanting to do, and we again chastise again more and more, then we are also kind of lending into, we may lose that person. Right? Of course, we are not doing out of envy, but we are not trained to be sensitive and understand the situation. And if they hurt that person more, it could be some, again, we may not do out of envy, it will not be grave offense, but there is some offense happening. that devotee is being troubled, and you are not able to sensitively understand the reason, and only judge and only chastise. So again, we are landing into a difficult situation ourselves and creating difficulty for others. So that is how it is. Fine. So therefore, the last thing you should try to do is judge devotee's intention. Don't judge devotee's intention. Be always safe, on the safe side. Because 99.9% the devotees who come to Krishna, they want to serve, they want to chant, but they are highly conditioned. We are highly conditioned. They are not able to do something or they act in some way because of being dictated by their conditioned nature, which takes time to clear. So therefore the approach is to compassionately help them or put them in other service where their nature is, conditioned nature is better dovetailed. So if their particular nature is not suiting this service, change this service. First try to help them, train them. What is not happening, give them some other service where they feel encouraged. So that you don't have to again and again chastise, judge, this and that. You see? So anyone, whether authority or simple bhakta, anyone who judge others, remarks, judge other intention, goes into the offensive zone. Right? So therefore, last thing you should do is to judge devotee's intention. Right? So therefore, so we are discussing here that how the king becomes angry, but still Jal Bharat understands. This is the nature of the king's position, job. Go ahead. Text 6 now.
King Raghunatha told Jadbharat, "How troublesome this is, my dear brother. You certainly appear very fatigued because you have carried this palanquin alone without assistance for a long time and for a long distance. Besides that, due to your old age, you have become greatly troubled. My dear friend, I see that you are not very firm, not very strong and stout. Aren't your fellow carriers cooperating with you?" In this way, the king criticized Jadbharat with sarcastic words, yet despite being criticized in this way, Jadbharat had no bodily conception of this situation. He knew that he was not the body, for he had attained his spiritual identity. He was neither fat, lean, nor thin, nor had he anything to do with a lump of matter, a combination of the 5 gross and 3 subtle elements. He had nothing to do with the material body and its 2 hands and legs. In other words, he had completely realized his spiritual identity. He was therefore unaffected by this sarcastic criticism from the king. Without saying anything, he continued carrying the palanquin as before.
First of all, he said, "You better carry the palanquin properly." Now he spoke sharp words, sarcastic words. What are the 4 sarcastic? There are 4 sentences, 4 sarcastic sentences. So he said, "Oh, you appear very fatigued because you carried this palanquin without assistance for a long time and a long distance." So first sentence he says, because he just started carrying palanquin and he had 3 more people and it was not a long time and long distance. So the first sentence, all 4 sentences are sarcastic. What is the meaning of that? You are not fatigued. You just started carrying and you have assistance all this, not that you are carrying alone or something. Right? Therefore, the meaning is just the opposite. So sarcastic words. The first sentence is you have carried this palanquin for long distance, for a long time and without assistance. First sarcastic word. Then he says, "Oh, you are a very old person." So he's quite young, right? Again sarcasm. So then he says, "Oh, you are not very firm and not very strong and stout." So like some old people are also firm, stout and strong. But you're not very firm, not very strong and not very stout. Or just the opposite. Because he was very firm, strong and stout. And looks like your fellow carriers are not cooperating. It's the opposite. You're not cooperating with them. So the whole message is opposite, but it's in a sarcastic way. So in this way, the king spoke in a sarcastic way. But Jadbharat, again the sharp words pierce the heart or give pain to the heart more than sharp sword. It said the sharp words are more piercing than the sharp sword. Why? But the sharp sword gives pain once, while sharp words again and again pierce your heart. Again and again pierce your heart.
চিতা একবার জ্বালায় চিন্তা বারবার জ্বালায়
Yeah, that is Chita and Chinta, that is one thing. Similarly, there is another Subhashit of the sharp words. So sharp words again and again pierce you. Whenever you remember, they pierce your heart. Whenever you remember, pierce your heart. So, but Jada Bharat is unaffected. And Lord Krishna says, who in this world can remain unaffected when sharp words are spoken? Who is such a person? It's not. And with only a very person's story beyond the body can be unaffected. But Jada Bharat is beyond the body. He is totally unaffected. Just mention. Prabhupada also write in the purport, this is something like 10th line of the purport. Due to being freed from the bodily conception, the sarcastic words of the king did not at all affect him. Okay, so there is a statement by Bhakti Swami Maharaj, again in the theme of what we just discussed. He said, if we are affected by others' nonsense, that this person is doing this person said this, etc. If we feel they are nonsense, whatever. Sometimes we feel this person not doing this properly, this person not acting properly, speaking properly, whatever. Said if you are affected by others' nonsense, then that is your weakness. It is your problem. Again, same thing. You take the responsibility. It is my weakness. It is my fault. If the others' nonsense affect me, it is my fault. It is my weakness. I am too much on bodily concept of life. Jada Bharat, all sarcastic words, no effect. Because we are not transcendental. Externally we may have to deal with it sometime, etc. But also know that I'm also, this is my weakness also. Again, internal acceptance help us to deal with problem externally. This is my problem also. This is my weakness also. That also should be understood and accepted. Yes, text 7.
Thereafter, when the king saw that this palanquin was still being shaken by the carriers, he became very angry and said, "You rascal, what are you doing? Are you dead despite the life within your body? Do you not know that I am your master? You are disregarding me and not carrying my order. For this disobedience, I shall now punish you just as Yamaraja, the superintendent of death, punishes sinful people. I shall give you proper treatment so that you will come to your senses and do the correct thing."
Okay, so first he spoke 4 sarcastic statements, and Jada Bharat was not affected, and nor was his movement affected. He continued to again, walk out of sync with the others. He was not stepping on the iron still. So still there was a jerky movement. Still his walking was erratic, not in sync. So now the king became angry. So what does he say now? Now he doesn't speak in a sarcastic ways. He says, "You rascal, what are you doing?" So the first statement is, "Are you dead despite the life?" First. "Do you not know I am your master?" The second point. Third, I shall punish you for this disobedience. Or are you here? You are mad, and for your disobedience, I'll punish you. Basically. Okay, fine. Text 8.
Thinking himself a king, King Rahuguna was in the bodily conception and was influenced by material nature's modes of passion and ignorance. Due to madness, he chastised Jadabharat with uncalled for and contradictory words. Jadabharat was a topmost devotee of the dear abode of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Although the king considered himself very learned, he did not know about the position of an advanced devotee situated in devotional service, nor did he know his characteristics. Jadbharat was the residence of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. He always carried the form of the Lord within his heart. He was the dear friend of all living beings and he did not entertain any bodily conception. He therefore smiled and spoke the following words.
Now, you may say, now if you tell this story to anybody, anyone will say, what's wrong with the king chastising him? It's very natural, right? If you are going on traveling by car, anyone, and the driver is putting brake again and again, and you falling, you will tell him, what are you doing? Drive properly. Is it not? Is there anything wrong in giving feedback or in chastising somebody who is not carrying you properly? Is there anything wrong in that?
No.
Actually, it
No.
doesn't seem to us, it doesn't seem to be anything wrong.
Comparing to Raja and servant is nothing.
Right? So, seen from the bodily point of view, there is nothing wrong. But we are on a bodily platform, therefore whatever we do is wrong. Our whole platform is false. It's a material world. This one person, he was arguing with me. He said, like I was saying that whenever there is a conflict, there is something wrong on our end also. And this person had a fight with his wife in the morning. I spoke in the Bhagavatam class in one place. I said, whenever there is a conflict, there is something wrong on our side also. Better we focus on our wrong and correct. And he raised the hand. And I didn't know that he had a fight with his wife. He said, but there is nothing wrong on our side. Then what? But there is nothing wrong on our side. He was saying no. Sometimes there could be 100% wrong on other side. I said, we are in the material world. And you say there is nothing wrong on our side. That we are in this material world itself is a big wrong on our side. So this person is claiming that we are, nothing is wrong on my side. The whole wrong is on the other party in any conflict and so on. No, sir, we are in this material world. The whole platform is, we are wrong here. It is a wrong position. We have a conditioned nature, Trigunatmak nature. How can anyone say I am not wrong? As long as we are in the modes of material nature, we are standing on a false platform, a wrong platform, and then we are on a false platform, we are saying, be righteous, be righteous, be righteous. This person is not righteous, this person is not righteous. Nonsense. So got the point. So basically, here it looks that in the king, obviously, king will give the feedback. Anyone is not doing proper. What's wrong with the king? The wrong is that we are on the bodily platform. So therefore, Rahuguna, the Bhagavatam is not talking on the Vyavaharic platform here. Bhagavatam is talking on a Jadbharat, now he is dealing with Jadbharat, who is Paramhamsa. From that platform, king is wrong because he is talking on a bodily concept of life. Therefore, king will raise his consciousness. So therefore, from ordinary perspective, there is nothing wrong. And ordinary people feel there is nothing wrong in doing that. What the king has done is right. The king has done is right. But no, Bhagavatam says he is conditioned in the bodily platform. He needs to come out. Anyone in this world is basically, whatever, all the bodily activities are ultimately on a false platform. It is wrong in one sense, from a Paramahamsa perspective. Whatever we do on a bodily platform is all meant to be taking us further, deeper into the modes. Whatever we do on the bodily platform. So all the Vyavaharic activities, all the ordinary thought process, all the ordinary thinking, then ultimately the platform is itself false in this material world. So on a bodily platform, the discussion of this is right, this is wrong, is some nonsense. So therefore, many people on a relative platform, there can never be consensus. This is right, this is wrong. Why? The whole platform is false. The whole discussion in this world is what is the right thing to do. Act like this, do like this, Right? The whole discussion on a platform of falsity, what is false, what is right, what is wrong, that itself platform is wrong. Therefore, there can never be consensus. There will always be conflict and debate, and never consensus. Because what is right is absolute right. Unless we are connected with the absolute truth, the relative truths of this world, this is true, this is false. They all are false. The platform is false. On the absolute platform, there is absolute good. And compared to that, the whole relativity is false. Right? So therefore, there is a different level on which Jad Bharat will talk. So Bhagavatam wants us to change our like harmonium play scale, different scales. We are playing on the scale of the integral world. So you switch on to the different level, different platform, different scale. Bhagavatam is talking from the absolute point of view, which is difficult to appreciate for those who are in the bodily concept of life.
Yeah.
And so therefore ordinary people cannot just comprehend. Ordinary people cannot just comprehend like that. It's very difficult for people to comprehend this, the what is being talked over here. So that the king Rahugana is in bodily platform of life and that he is doing something, he is not acting rightly, that is very, very difficult to comprehend. That is a bodily platform life, that is the basic thing. Okay, and Bhagavatam says he is acting out of madness. Right? Bhagavatam is in Sukadeva Goswami is speaking, pointing out fault in the king's behavior, which seems to be normal. But what seems to be normal is not normal. Okay, so like that. So therefore, now he is talking to a Paramhamsa, and therefore he will now talk on a different platform. So now Brahmana Vacha.
The great Brahmana Jad Bharat said, "My dear king and hero, whatever you have spoken sarcastically."
Okay, let's recite. This is a verse. You have not recited any verse till now. Bhagavatam. Till now it is prose. Is this prose in this chapter or previous chapter also?
Previous also.
Previous chapter also, na?
Mm-hmm.
There is a prose. So there are some verses by Brahmana. So let's speak and recite. Tayoditam vyaktam pralabdham
Tayoditam vyaktam apripralabdham
Bhartu samesya yadi veera bharah
Bharto samesa jadi veerabhara
Kantur yadi syad adigamya madhva
Ganto jadi sad adigamamabdha
Piveti rasho navidam pravadah
Vivai dhirasho navidam pravada.
The great Brahmana Jad Bharat said, "My dear king and hero, whatever you have spoken sarcastically is certainly true. Actually, these are not simply words of chastisement, for the body is the carrier. The load carried by the body does not belong to me, for I am the spirit soul. There is no contradiction in your statements because I am different from the body. I am not the carrier of the palanquin, the body is the carrier. Certainly, as you have hinted, I have not labored carrying the palanquin, for I am detached from the body. You have said that I am not stout and strong, and these words are befitting a person who does not know the distinction between the body and the soul. The body may be fat or thin, but no learned man would say such things of the spirit soul. As far as the spirit soul is concerned, I am neither fat nor skinny. Therefore, you are correct when you say that I am not very stout. Also, if the object of this journey and the path leading there were mine, there would be many troubles for me. But because they relate not to me but to the body, there is no such trouble at all."
Very philosophical. The king says, I cannot comprehend. I only can understand that you spoke something very high. Please explain. My intelligence is going to comprehend. So like that. So he spoke very philosophical in a very philosophical way. So basically, I'll summarize. I'll try to summarize for your easy understanding. I made some notes here, statement by statement. Okay, so yeah, Okay, so I'll summarize this section of Jad Bharat's reply. Okay. What was the king's first statement? Look at the king's first statement. He spoke 4 statements. He's now addressing the 4 statements of the king. I see that you are very fatigued. I see that you are very fatigued. What does the king mean to say? That you are not at all fatigued. That's what king is saying. That you are not at all fatigued. And he says, what you said is right. Though you are speaking in a sarcastic way, but you are saying right. Once and the message you want to give me, I am not fatigued. He said, yes, I am not fatigued. Why? Why? Because I am not carrying the load. I am the spirit soul. Spirit soul can never be fatigued. I am not carrying the load. Okay, so that is the first point. I am not the carrier, therefore I am not fatigued. What he said is right. I am not fatigued. Then, what is the second statement he mentioned? You are in a sarcastic way saying, but what you want to say is
You are not young.
you are not young. That means you are old, not very stout and strong. That's what he said. But what he meant what he means is that you are young and you are stout and strong. So what is Jadbharat's reply to that? The reply is that you are calling me that you want to say that you are young, you are stout and strong. He said, young or old, strong or weak, this applies to the body. Therefore, these are not the talks of a person in knowledge. That is his reply to him. That these talks, your words just apply to the body, and these are not the talks of the learned people, because the soul is neither strong or weak, old or young on a spiritual platform. So therefore that is his, in essential, that is the reply. Okay. Then he says, then he actually replies, next he replies to the king saying that, are you dead? Are you dead? Later he will reply to that whatever, punish you and all that. Or he may not reply to certain things, he may reply to others. So total, king has passed 4 plus 3, 7 sentences, if you want to underline that. 4 plus 3 more. Are you mad? Do you not know I am your master? And I shall punish you. These 3 more. And before that, 4 sarcastic sentences. So he doesn't answer in order, but he answers all of them. Almost. So, first of all, he says, yes, you are saying you are not fatigued, right? The soul can never be fatigued. Then you are talking that you are stout, strong, young. No, this is not the words of a knowledgeable person. For the soul is neither young nor old, nor weak nor strong. So this is the talks of a person in ignorance on a bodily platform. Then he says, are you dead while in this body? He says, this is the case with everyone. Are you dead? Because Prabhupada says everyone in this world is living dead. Because everything is material world, the body is always dead, unconscious. So therefore, Prabhupada says that without spiritual understanding, everyone is a living dead in this world. Though the body is walking, it's dead. Therefore says, are you dead? And this is the case with everyone. Everyone this applies to everyone in this world. Because you are talking about bodily platform, everyone is a living dead in this world. So this applies to everyone. Then he says, do you not know I am the king? I am your master. He says that, right? So he's addressing all that. Do you not know I am the master? He says, Jadbharat says, now this is in a series of verses, not just in one verse. I am summarizing to you 9 to 15 now. 9 by 9. Because it's difficult to get it from the translations. But point wise, if you write, then you read the translation purport, that will make sense. So make the point by point. So Subodhini gives you something, but little bit you need to, you need to just put it in your own words also. So, got the point. So now whatever we discussed, if you go through it once again, it will help you to understand. So if you take the notes now and then study the Subodhini and purport, everything will fit in the right perspective. So for easy understanding, I am replying line by line. Okay, so do you not know I am the master? He says this is just you are being king or you are the master. This is just a conventional way of speaking. That means this is just temporary designation. You are saying I am the master, you are the king. You are the king of only one province. I was the king of the whole planet. Before you, I was a greater king, but now my designation is I am the palanquin carrier. And you think you are the king. Tomorrow you may be summoned to palanquin carrier. Therefore he replies, this is all conventional, ordinary understanding. I am the king and you consider me the palanquin carrier. Okay? So like this is the conventional, ordinary understanding. Then what he says that are you mad? I will punish you, he says. He replies to the threat of being punished. What did he say? He said, well, if you consider me mad, then what is your punishment will have no effect. If you punish a mad person, he cannot be rectified. So you punish somebody and that person is not rectified. Then what happens? Your punishment is a waste. Is the whole effort, time waste. If you consider me to be mad, then your punishment is a waste. And so he says, if I am mad, then your punishment is a waste. How it is a waste? Like grinding a flour. Grinding a flour. What is grinding a flour? You grind the flour expecting the grain will come. You grind the flour expecting grain will come. Grain will never come. It will become further powder. That means you punish a mad person thinking he will become sane. He will become more insane. It's like grinding the flour. The grains are not going to come out. The person is not going to become sane. He will become more insane. So therefore, punishing a mad person is a waste of time. And if I am self-realized, then your punishment won't affect me. You will only punish the body. But you will only punish the body and I am different from the body, so therefore it is not going to affect me. In both the cases, your punishment is a waste of time. What will you accomplish punishing a mad person or a self-realized person? See, Devarshi is very intelligently he answers. Okay. So now, why did Devarshi responded to Rahugana's remark? He spoke in a philosophical way. He could have, the king could have punished him. He would have tolerated the punishment. Because, you see, his brothers would also punish him. He would not retaliate.
Yes.
The dacoits, they tried to kill him. He did not retaliate.
Yes.
Did Devarshi spoke to avoid the punishment? No.
No.
Because he would just let the punishment come. He would not be affected by the punishment. He did not retaliate or did not speak any philosophy to his brothers or to the dacoits also. But now he spoke.
Why?
Okay? Yeah, so that's what we are discussing that. So, now, what was the need for Devarshi to respond? Why did Devarshi respond to Rahugana while he did not respond to his brothers and to dacoits? This is the question now. Okay? So, Devarshi spoke out of mercy, which arose naturally. So they were too steeped in ignorance and passion.
Ah.
They were too much steeped in ignorance and passion. So therefore, he did not feel like speaking. He understood. But here, the king was actually an uprighteous person. He was, as I said, he was knowledgeable. So therefore, Jad Bharat could not judge the king by his words, but he could see overall the king's demeanor and everything. So it's not just that by one word. Jad Bharat could feel that this king, he could sense. I was in one shop. There was a shopkeeper, the main seller. He is sitting in that shop for 30 years or 35 years. He said, as soon as the customer walks in, मैं उसका एकदम नब्ज पकड़ लेता हूँ, पहचान लेता हूँ, ये खरीदेगा नहीं खरीदेगा या सिर्फ ये करने आया है वो करने आया है. Just by the body language, I understand the quality of a customer. Without even talking. Just by the body language, I understand he is coming to buy something, serious buyer, or just waste of time or anywhere in between. Right? Or he is going to argue with me, this, that. He said, मैं तो customer का ऐसा नब्ज पकड़ लेता हूँ. Means, I read the whole chart of the customer. Just by seeing the body language. As soon as the customer walks, I understand what kind of customer he is. He is so well versed in studying body language, 35 years, daily he is seeing hundreds of customers from his experience. So like that. So there are some people who can understand that what kind of person is this. So Jad Bharat would not judge him by his remarks. He could sense that this king is fit recipient for spiritual knowledge. He will be humble to accept. Right? So therefore, because of, we can say, Jad Bharat's own intuition, which comes to the Lord, which comes through sometime by experience, by maturity, by the Lord's arrangement, he spoke out of mercy which arose naturally in his heart. It was naturally in his heart. Okay, so like that. So therefore, he did not. Therefore he spoke out of his mercy to benefit for the sake of Jad Bharat, to help Rahugana. Still, though he spoke like that, still he did not consider him a great devotee. You see, this is a very subtle point. Though he wanted to show mercy, or the mercy of his heart naturally arose, the compassion of his heart naturally arose, he did not consider himself a great preacher or great Mahabhagat. That is important. So therefore, we as sadhakas should never think that I am showing mercy or compassion to somebody. We always feel, I will try to carry the mercy and compassion of the Guru Parampara to this. And we have to be discriminative. Who is the right candidate, who is not right candidate. Madhyamadhikari is supposed to be discriminative and carrying the mercy. Carrier of the mercy of Guru Parampara. So therefore, out of his own heart, he felt this person should receive spiritual knowledge. So mercy was in his heart, though he did not feel that he is merciful. You see, he remained fixed in his humility also, though he is going to give the mercy to him. Okay, so then what happened? So then therefore he replied to his remarks. He did not. Looks like he did not reply to every individual remark, but he addressed it all. Basically, he addressed it all philosophically. So, what is the king's reaction when Jad Bharat spoke in this way? Read text 15 directly.
15.
15. I have summarized that section of his reply. Because from translation you will become confused. So point by point I will I had just, and then now if you make the point and then read the translation, then you'll be able to get the philosophical thread.
Shukadev Goswami continued, O best of the Pandu dynasty, Maharaj Parikshit, the king of the Sindhu and Sauvira states, Maharaj Rahuguna had great faith in discussions of the absolute truth. Being thus qualified, he heard from Jadbharat that philosophical presentation which is approved by all scriptures on the mystic yoga process and which slackens the knot in the heart. His material conception of himself as a king was thus destroyed. He immediately descended from his palanquin and fell flat on the ground with his head at the lotus feet of Jadbharat in such a way that he might be excused for his insulting words against the great Brahmana. He then prayed as follows.
Okay, so then he just immediately, as he heard those words, he immediately jumped from the palanquin and offered full dandavats to him. And he understood that here is a person who is spiritually very advanced, who is beyond the bodily concept of life. He could understand from his words. Okay, text 16.
King Rahuguna said, O Brahmana, you appear to be moving in this world very much covered and unknown to others. Who are you? Are you a learned Brahmana and saintly person? I see that you are wearing a sacred thread. Are you one of those exalted, liberated saints such as Dattatreya and other highly advanced learned scholars? May I ask whose disciple you are? Where do you live? Why have you come to this place? Is your mission in coming back here to do good for us? Please let me know who you are.
Okay, so therefore he is inquiring that are you Dattatreya or are you Lord Kapila who has mercifully come to impart knowledge to me? That is. So he immediately basically recognized his exalted position and he is inquiring who actually you are. You must be a very exalted personality basically. From this question we understand that. 17, reading the translation.
My dear sir, I am not at all afraid of the thunderbolt of King Indra, nor am I afraid of the serpentine piercing trident of Lord Shiva. I do not care about the punishment of Yavraj, the superintendent of death, nor am I afraid of fire, scorching sun, moon, wind, nor the weapons of Kuvera. Yet I am afraid of offending a Brahmana. I am very much afraid of this.
Okay, so you see, he's speaking that I am not afraid of. This is quite a amazing verse. Naham Vishanke Suraraj Vajran. I'm not afraid of the thunderbolt of Indra. I'm not afraid of the Trishul of Lord Shiva. But I'm afraid of offending the Brahmana. Because if you in a fight, if you're killed by the thunderbolt or Lord Shiva kills you, right, in some fight and all that, then you do not degrade yourself. You will, right, for a righteous principle and a Kshatriya, you may not degrade yourself. But it said, those who offend the devotees of the Brahmanas, they are condemned even by the residents of hell. They say, we don't want to associate with this person. Can you imagine? Even the most dreadful sinners, the residents of hell, they consider that this person is the deadliest criminal, not worth associating. This person, offender association is not desired even by the criminals of hell. And how degraded this person is. So therefore he says that I am really afraid of offending a Brahmana. I am fearful. Otherwise I am not fearful of any other weapon. Because as a king, I can fight, and even if I am killed by those weapons, I will not degrade myself. But I will become most degraded if a Brahmana and Vaishnavas are offended. So therefore, please remember, the highest good fortune in this world is brought by the mercy and blessings of Vaishnavas. And the greatest misfortune is brought by offenses to them. And the Rabindranath Tagore says, Eteka Vaishnava Seva Parama Upai Avashya Milai Krishna Vaishnava Kripai. So there is a verses that how Harinam is the highest. But several times Rabindranath Tagore says Vaishnava Seva is the highest. He says, for sure Krishna will be attained by blessing the Vaishnavas. And one will surely progress in one's Harinam, taking shelter of Harinam by the blessing of Vaishnavas. Therefore he says, the highest is Vaishnava Seva. Again and again. In Chaitanya Bhagavat, the service to the Vaishnavas is more glorified, because that will help a person also advance in chanting and everything. And even if that person lacks the chanting and that person knows the good quality, simply by Vaishnava's blessing, he will achieve the highest good fortune. So, and he quotes Shastra, Siddhir Bhavati Va Neti Samsheha Chuta Sevinam. By serving Krishna, whether a person will achieve perfection or not, there is a doubt. There is no consensus. Some Shastra says a person will achieve perfection by serving Krishna. Others say may not. So there is a doubt. There is no certainty amongst the scriptures and the sadhus whether the servant of Krishna will attain perfection or not. Nisham sayastu tad bhakta. Forgetting the Nisham sayastu. No, there's some other, but we'll see. He says, without a doubt, the servant of a Vaishnava will attain perfection. A servant of Krishna may or may not attain perfection, but without a doubt, 100% guarantee, a servant of Vaishnava will attain perfection. So therefore, highest good fortune is in serving the devotees. Highest misfortune is in offending, judging, criticizing, blaming, all this thing in relation to the devotees. Therefore, he immediately, the king is very knowledgeable, he is very sensitive, he immediately falls flat that the greater disaster will take place, much more than the trident of Shiva, the thunderbolt of Indra, or the fiery weapons. This is the most dreadful thing, offending devotee. I am very afraid of this. And again and again, especially some Prabhupada's godmother, Bhakti Rakshak Sridhar Maharaj, once told some senior disciple of Prabhupada, he said, you all are very nicely dedicated to serve a spiritual master. There is one thing, you all from the Western culture, there is one point, when there is one fault, one negativity. He was pointing in a constructive way. One point I see amongst you all, he was pointing out to the Prabhupada disciples, who mainly came from the West, and applies to many devotees, applies to, you can say it applies to all of us also, is that you all are not sufficiently fearful of offending devotees. Therefore, you may create great obstacles in the path of progress. You are not sufficiently fearful. So just see how the king, what he says.
Who said it?
Prabhupada godmother Bhakti Rakshak Sridhar Maharaj.
Okay.
And he was totally non-envious. He was great well-wisher of ISKCON, Prabhupada devotees. He said, I see that you all devotees in ISKCON are not sufficiently afraid of Vaishnava Aparadh. And that may create great obstacle. That was his observation. I get Mahabhagavat. And just see how the king is saying, look the statements, read the statement. Yet I am afraid of offending a Brahmana. I am very much afraid of this. I am very much afraid of this. So therefore this fear should always be there. It's healthy fear. It's healthy fear. Because I am very, very afraid and I may not offend the Vaishnava in any way. So one should be fearful of committing a slightest offense also. Not that, although we are discussing that there is a grave offense out of envy, but we should not think, no, I am not envious. Small offense should go away. No. On our side, this one should be very sensitive, very afraid of not offending
Vaishnava.
Vaishnavas. That is a lesson from King Rahuguna's behavior. Okay. Go ahead, read text reading.
My dear sir, it appears that the influence of your great spiritual knowledge is hidden. Factually, you are bereft of all material association and fully absorbed in the thought of the Supreme. Consequently, you are unlimitedly advanced in spiritual knowledge. Please tell me why you are wandering around like a Dalai. O great saintly person, you have spoken words approved by the yogic process, but it is not possible for us to understand what you have said. Therefore, kindly explain it.
Okay, so he said, now explain your words. I cannot comprehend your words. Asking explanation for those words. And he will express his own doubts also. Yes, go ahead.
I consider your good self the most exalted master of the yogic mystic power. You know the spiritual science perfectly well. You are the most exalted of all learned sages, and you have descended for the benefit of all human society. You have come to give spiritual knowledge, and you are a direct representative of Kapil Deva, the incarnation of Lord, and the plenary portion of knowledge. I am therefore asking you, O spiritual master, what is the most secure shelter in this world?
Okay, so he basically inquires in this text 19. There are two things he's inquiring. He inquires about Atma, Amja Yogeshwaram Atma Tattva. And then he inquires about the shelter of Atma, who is Paramatma. So tell me about the Atma, tell me about the Atma Tattva and also the shelter of the Atma, the Paramatma. There are 2 points being inquired in text 19. Yes, Frontier?
Is it not a fact that your good self is the direct representative of Kapil Deva, the incarnation of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, to examine people and see who is actually a human being and who is not? You have presented yourself to be a deaf and dumb person. Are you not moving this way upon the surface of the world? I am very attached to family life and worldly activities, and I am blind to spiritual knowledge. Nonetheless, I am now present before you and I am seeking enlightenment from you. How can I advance in spiritual life?
Okay? So, he glorifies him. You are the representative of Lord Kapil Dev. You understand the spiritual science perfectly well. But I am Andha Buddhi. I am blind. Therefore, please tell me how can I advance in spiritual life. Such a beautiful question. This question we can actually ask any devotee. Please tell me how can I advance in spiritual life. So therefore he asks. He humbly falls at his feet and now inquires. Vidhi pranipaten pariprashnena sevaya. That's what the king is acting as a very sincere disciple. And then he asked that, but then he further inquires. So I'll just summarize this section. He further inquires. What does he say? He says, you said that yes, I am the soul, therefore I can never be fatigued. Right? I am the soul, I can never be fatigued. This is what Devarshi said. Okay, you are right. You said you cannot be fatigued. Yes, I am the soul cannot be fatigued. So though you said that the soul cannot be fatigued, though the soul is different from the body, but we feel the fatigue. Is it not? We feel the fatigue. So then he says, he gives example. He says one can say that the water pot is false. This is what King is speaking. The water pot is false. But then, if we want to carry the water, we need the water pot. So, calling the water pot false, how does it help us in a practical way? So, King wants something practical. But important thing is there is so much practical knowledge available in this world. Where is the person who will show the path to this world again, the practical, be something practical. And you be practical, remain here only. Which the whole purpose is defeated. What is the point of being practical? You do all the practical and then 0 marks. Right? And you say this is impractical. But then that person succeeds in the mission of going back to God. We remain practical in this world, and someone who is impractical goes back to Godhead. So you are practical and you are 0 marks, and other person gets its distinction. He is impractical. You have in this world. So therefore, people in this world want to be always very practical. Right? So that's why the king also, he wants to understand things on a practical level. But Jalpal wants to take him on a transcendental level. Wants to give him transcendental information. So he will address all the queries. And therefore he says, well, but we do feel the fatigue. So therefore, how does this understanding help us? So you say, I am not the body. But what does it help us? We still have to go to doctor. Still have to take the medicine. Still become tired. So saying that, yes, I am not fatigued, I am a soul. How does it help us? Okay. So the king is, and we say, yes, very practical, very practical. Of course, this has been inquired, and Jagannath will give very nice answers. And then he himself gives the example. You call water pot false, but we have to use the water pot to carry water, to drink water. And then he says, he gives another example. Though the soul is different from the body, but the soul is affected. Just like, give an example, if I put a pot on fire, then what happens? Though the fire, and there is the milk, there is the rice. Though the rice is not touching the fire, but the rice is getting cooked. Is it not? So we are getting cooked in this material world. Though the soul is different, though you say the rice is different from, the rice has nothing to do with the fire. Fire is only touching the pot. Pot is like a body. Fire, so the threefold means is only affecting the body. But within the pot is milk and rice, but the rice is getting cooked. So you say the soul is different from the pot, but the soul is suffering. It's like the rice is getting cooked. So how do we understand? What benefit this knowledge gives us? Right? Very, very nice logic. We are feeling yes. What he's saying makes perfect sense to all of us. So he's asking very intelligent questions, which any logical person will ask. And then he says that you said that when I said I am the king, I am the master, so it is all temporary designation. He said, even though it is temporary, as long as I am in this position, I must do my duty of punishing citizens. If I do not identify with the king and do not punish the citizens, wrongdoers, then I am not doing my duty. And I will degrade. So therefore, understanding that this position of king is temporary, should neglect the duty, not do the duty of punishing. How will that be progressive? Scriptures enjoin the king must do the duty. That is another doubt. So therefore, and then he says, text 24. Let's read 24. So after putting all these questions, these last 2 verses will read. Yeah. Translation.
Whatever you have spoken appears to me to be contradictory. O best friend of the distressed, I have committed a great offense by insulting you. I was puffed up with false prestige due to possessing the body of a king. For this I have certainly become an offender. Therefore I pray that you kindly glance at me with your causeless mercy. If you do so, I can be relieved from sinful activities brought about by insulting you.
Okay, so therefore explicitly after inquiring, he again takes shelter of the humility and says and beg forgiveness, I have actually committed a great offense by insulting you. I was puffed up due to my false prestige as a king, and I have become a offender. Therefore, please be merciful, please grant mercifully. So he is actually pleading for mercy of Jadabharat. Now, Jadabharat may say that no, I have not felt any bad thing what you spoke. You spoke in a sharp word, but I did not feel any pain. I did not suffer because of your any bad words. What does King Rahugana says? He says, though you may not suffer from my, or you may not feel bad, you may not feel insulted, you may not feel any suffering from my sharp words, you may not be harmed, but it will be I who will suffer a lot. So you have not suffered, but I will suffer a lot for my offense. Read the next translation.
O my dear Lord, you are the friend of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is the friend of all living entities. You are therefore equal to everyone, and you are free from the bodily conception. Although I have committed an offense by insulting you, I know that there is no loss or gain for you due to my insult. You are fixed in your determination, but I have committed an offense. Because of this, even though I may be as strong as Lord Shiva, I shall be vanquished without delay due to my offense at the lotus feet of a Vaishnava.
Okay, so he says, though there may not be any loss for you, but I will lost everything. Though you may not be suffering, but I will suffer greatly because of offense. Therefore, it is important to understand, though sometimes if we speak harshly, improperly, first of all, on our own side, we should not justify, no, I have no negative intention. Because there is anyway negativity in our heart is filled with anarthas, so we should not justify. And even if the other devotee says, no, do not say anything improper, we say, no, I actually did spoke improperly. Please be merciful. Even if the other devotee doesn't take the offense, we must beg forgiveness. Why? Because Chaitanya Bhagavad says, or Chaitanya Chitamani says, Bhakta Sabhav Agya Dosha Shama Kare. What is the nature of devotee? He doesn't take the offense of Agya. He says this person is in ignorance. Or this person is just acting out of his nature. Therefore, a devotee discounts the offense. Devotee doesn't take the offense. That is the nature of a devotee. This person is acting out of his nature. This person is Agya, ignorant. Bhakta Sabhav Agya Dosha Shama Kare. That means he doesn't take offense. It means forgiven, already forgiven. Krishna Sabhav Bhakta Ninda Sahitena Pare. But Sabhav of Krishna is he doesn't forgive a Vaishnava. So devotee's Sabhav is he doesn't take the offense. But Krishna's Sabhav is he doesn't leave any offender. He will give the punishment. So like that. Therefore, even though the devotee may not take the offense, if we have transgressed the principle, we should understand, then we should fall flat and beg the mercy. So like that, and try to serve that devotee, please that devotee. So in this way, King Rahugana, so there is if someone has offended some senior devotee, what is the traditional way of forgiveness? Become a disciple. Yeah, that is the way. All the Rotan Das Thakur pastime, anyone would offend Rotan Das Thakur, challenge. When they realize their mistake, then take initiation. Become a disciple.
Pundarik Vidyanidhi.
Ganadhar Pandit mentally committed offense to Pundarik Vidyanidhi. Then how you rectify? Become a disciple. Or, now you will say, we already initiated.
I was thinking.
So, basically become like a disciple. Like a disciple means now you serve that person. If it is in senior stature, if that person is in a senior stature, you try to take that person as a Shiksha Guru. Consider that person as a Shiksha Guru. There will be multiple Shiksha Gurus. And try to serve him just like a disciple serves. Take the opportunity to serve that. A disciple serves the spiritual master meaningfully. And then be absolved from that offense.
And if he is not like Guru Maharaj's position, yes.
Yeah, so different ways intelligently.
But we can serve anyone.
Yeah, we can always try to serve and please anyone, whether it's junior, whether it's equal. It's the way we serve is different. Just that the way we serve is different, but we can serve anyone and try to please. The antidote is now we try to please that person. That is the main thing. In some way or the other. Okay, so there are beautiful verses from Chaitanya Bhagavad also in the last purport. You can study yourself. Which where Vrindavan Das Thakur in Chaitanya Bhagavad repeatedly glorifies service to Vaishnavas and repeatedly warns us against offenses to Vaishnavas. This is repeated theme of Chaitanya Bhagavad. Repeatedly, as soon as Vrindavan Das Thakur gets the context, he glorifies Vaishnava Seva. As soon as he gets the context, he condemns offense to Vaishnavas or criticism to Vaishnavas. Like that. In fact, this is a beautiful verse where he says, Bahutuli Jagatere Bale Gauradham. He said, Lord Chaitanya has raised both his arms. Bahutuli. What is the meaning of when you raise your arms? One thing is, raising your arm means surrendering. But when you raise your arms, you want to say something emphatically. Like Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami also says, I raise my arms and O Vaishnavas, I raise my arms and want to tell you something. What is that? He says, follow this verse. Wear this word from the holy neck, from the holy name, wear it for continuous remembrance. When he says, Tranati Shuni Chena, then he says, with my both hands raised, I forgot the verse. Here he says, with my both hands raised, I want to tell you something. That is, Prabhu Ragya kar hai shloka acharan. Let me just see that verse. It's just one verse before this verse. Prabhu Agya kar hai shloka acharan avashya mile tabe Krishna prema jana. Yeah, he said, Urdhva bahu kari kahun shuna sarva lok. He said, with my hands raised. Urdhva bahu kari kahun shuna sarva lok. What is that? Nama sutre ganti par kanthe ei shlok. He explained Tranati Shuni Chena. Then he says, you wear this shloka on the holy name, on the thread of holy name. That means always chant the holy name. While continuously remember that I have to practice this verse. Tranati Shuni Chena Truvivasa Hishuna Amanina Man Dena Kirtanya Sada. Says wear it around your neck for continuous remembrance. Around your neck. That will never forget this verse. And there is only one verse, he says, I raise my hand and tell you. There is no other verse in CC like that, or even Chaitanya Bhagavad. Only in one place, Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami puts his pen down and raises his hand. Urtu Bahu Kari Kahu Shun Sarva Lok Nam Sutre Granthi Par Kanthe Ishlok. Always follow this verse. Okay, so therefore, Vrindavan Das Thakur also says, Lord Chaitanya has raised his hands. So I am coming to that sloka now. With raised hand, Lord Chaitanya wants to give a message to the whole world. So people understand raised hand of Lord Chaitanya means surrender. But he says, with raised hand, Lord Chaitanya wants to give one important message. What is that? Don't criticize others. Vrindavan Thakur says. He says, Bahutuli jagat tere pale gauradham anandak hai sabe. Laha Krishna Nam. Don't criticize others. Lord Chaitanya is telling. Raise your consciousness above the dirt of Vaishnava Ninda. So, what does raise hand means? Whenever you see Lord Chaitanya raise hand, remember, Lord Chaitanya is telling, raise your consciousness above the muddy waters, the dirty things, that is Vaishnava Ninda, criticism, blaming others. Raise your consciousness above. And in that consciousness, chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jai Granthra Srimad Bhagavatam, Jai Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai, Jai Bhakti.
Prabhu, you heard about one verse that Vaishnava Seva is the best.
हाँ.
Can you give me the reference?
एक वैष्णव सेवा परम उपाय अवश्य मिले कृष्ण वैष्णव कृपाय. There are many verses. Repeatedly, Vaishnava Seva is glorified and Vaishnava Ninda is highly condemned. Vaishnava Seva is highly glorified. Chaitanya Bhagavat.
I wrote, I will find.
You will be able to find.
So, can I ask question?
Yes.
First one is, I have two questions. So, one is, Prabhuji, you told that if there is no malice in heart, then it is not offensive. So,
It
can
is,
you explain?
it is not a grave offense.
Grave offense.
It's not a grave offense. There is no malice in the heart.
So, how you will categorize Rupa Goswami's offense?
That was not even offense. But Krishna wanted to warn all of us. Therefore, see, some devotee may make apparent mistake. That is, the Lord sometimes does that. He takes a small apparent mistake to pass a message to the whole world, to caution all of us, to caution the sadhakas. Just like Vrindavan Thakur says, Sachi Mata's offense was not offense. He says, she Jagan Mata, she cannot offend. But Lord Chaitanya had to warn all the associates, all the Gaudiya Vaishnavas, even held his mother responsible for an apparent offense. Apparent offense. She did not speak about any grudge. She just was pained and she expressed her motherly love. She had no ill feelings toward Advaitacharya. That way. So therefore, he said that was not an offense. Vrindavan Thakur says that. Okay, so therefore the offense is grave when it is born out of ill feelings towards somebody. When we want to put somebody down, we have some envy towards somebody and we speak out of grudge, envy, when there is an ill feeling in the heart. Right? Or born out of anartha and something. Okay, so that is basically root cause born out of envy, that is the grave offense. Of course, then there are offenses which are medium and lesser. There are 3 degrees, and the reaction is different. So I forgot how the medium category offense are categorized. Maybe some other time, if you remind me, whenever I come next, I'll tell you a little bit more about that. But yes, the offenses born out of envy are the gravest. Others, if we, due to vyavahar, due to our nature, we may speak something, transgress the etiquette, they are not considered very grave by the Lord. But what happens? Small offences lead to grave offences also. Therefore, Vaishnava should be alert and check the offence even at the stage of mind. Like we know the mental offences are not committed, are not considered. Mental offences are not considered in the stage of Kali. But mental offences lead to physical or vocal offences. May lead to, surely will lead to. If we do not check the mental offences, it will surely then transform into physical or vocal offense. Therefore, intelligent thing is to check the problem or checkmate the disease when it is small. Intelligent person should not neglect the disease. As soon as you diagnose or someone tells you this is a disease, immediately start the treatment. To postpone any disease is foolishness. Right? And keep dragging, you go to doctor, sometimes the problem becomes big. Actually. So checkmate the problem or solve the problem, cut the problem from the root when it is small. That is intelligence.
Yes, Prabhu. So, another question is very important for me. Like, Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur also told that, like, in this Kali Yuga, it is not Yuga Dharma, the holy name is not Yuga Dharma. Vaishnava Seva is the Yuga Dharma. So, you mentioned both. It is mentioned in Chaitanya, holy name is the best, and it is mentioned that Vaishnava Seva is the best. So, but I feel I also discussed with devotees sometimes, like, if I am getting satisfaction particular services, in some particular services I am getting satisfaction and I am feeling that it is helping me more than other services. So for me only, it is best?
Now you say that you want to equate this with Vaishnava Seva and Nam Kirtan. First of all, I'm trying to understand the correlation between the first and the second question. First, you said that Bhaktivinoda Thakur said that Vaishnava Seva is the Yuga Dharma, not the holy name. I have not read the statement, but Bhaktivinoda Thakur also says, but it doesn't say that holy name is not the. See, one thing. Sometimes one principle is glorified emphatically. This is the best. It doesn't mean the other is low. It's not implied directly. When you say this is the best thing, this is the best dham, all dham is the best, doesn't mean the others are less. There can be multiple best also.
Sometimes Guru Maharaj said, I came here and I said, this is the best program I have ever.
Yeah.
All I saying this.
The best program doesn't mean other or less, first of all. So when Vaishnava Seva is glorified, and that doesn't mean holy name is less. Or holy name is being glorified doesn't mean Vaishnava Seva is less important. Understand that. Yeah? So these are, they are very much related also. Prabhupada says, if you chant well, you will feel encouraged to also do good service to devotees. And if you do nice service to devotees, you will feel encouragement to chant better also. To do nice service, you will get inspiration. Temporarily, due to service, sometimes you have to compromise. But overall, the nature of good service is, it will give you encouragement to chant, to in other aspects. So, if you take the right shelter of one process, it will uplift you in other places also.
Yes, Guru, I am telling this that you told that if you chant well, then you can do well the other services. So I am telling, I am not feeling that I have so much interest in chanting. I am chanting 16 rounds, but I am feeling like I have some leisure time. Now I can do any services.
Services means,
But
clarify. More, be more specific. So you suppose you are not feeling attracted towards chanting. I am not feeling inclination to chant more, but you do 16 rounds. But in your free time, what do you like to do? Read more? Read more?
Yes.
Read more?
Reading, hearing, and some.
Reading, hearing.
Now I am getting for some days I am getting some doing some physical service. I like most.
Yeah. Therefore, see again. That's fine. You know, this among the 5 important limbs of bhakti, we can do one in the minimum required. Others we can put more energy. There is nothing harm in doing that. We are inclined toward others. But you will see that you will also gradually, one limb done properly will give you encouragement in your bhakti to progress more. So we should feel the increasing enthusiasm, joy also. So that we have to see from the result. If I am doing that limb properly, if I am not on the mental platform. So what may happen, if we may be thinking I am doing this properly, but am I doing it properly, whatever limb of bhakti, in the right consciousness, in the right way. So any limb of bhakti performed in the right consciousness, right direction, will be uplifting our consciousness. So if our consciousness is being uplifted, and then if our consciousness is being uplifted, we will definitely, our chanting will improve qualitatively. Even if you want to put some more time, you will get the desire to chant better, to serve better. And if you are really putting your best in chanting, in the right mood, is the key to chant well. In that mood, if you chant, you will feel encouragement that I should now serve and make the devotees also happy. They cannot be separated. Though you may put more energy in one, as per your inclination.
Yes, Guru, thank you. So I am just confessing because I want the clarification yes, really I am feeling that I can do a particular service like very naturally, and really I am getting not so much taste in holy name, but I am feeling that now I am getting more taste than earlier. So now in this point, should I now I have some taste, some little more taste in holy name. So should I, when I am getting more time, should I chant extra round, or should I have also chance to do my service by which I am getting taste in holy name also. So should I continue this service more? Because it is giving
Yeah.
results,
Yeah, yeah,
and I have natural
Yeah.
inclination to this,
yeah,
and also I am getting taste
yeah.
in holy name.
No, again, as I said that एक अंग साधे के साधे बहुअंग. Right? In Siddhism is also said some people stick to one, the other who want to do all the 5 angas, or some people may want to do 64 angas. Right? Some people remain more focused on one anga. So the important thing is, yes, by our service, the test is that we are feeling encouraged and Vaishnavas are also blessing us. That is happening, that is a choice of your own person. It's a personal choice. So as long as the Vaishnavas are happy, see, how is Krishna happy? How do we know Krishna is happy with our bhakti? We want to please the Lord also. Some Siddhir Haritoshanam. That is, Krishna is happy by the Vaishnava's happiness. They are blessing us. We are progressing. So the Vaishnavas are happy, and I am also feeling attractive. I am feeling increasing taste for particular anga of bhakti in the right track. But still, we should not become attached to that. If there is a need, I may switch gear if I am asked to. As long as you have the freedom, you do the minimum required, and you can exercise your freedom by investing more time in reading Bhagavatam, reading CC, in doing Vaishnava Seva. But when asked also, then don't be attached. We want to ultimately please the Lord, and that is please the Vaishnava. And when the Vaishnava says, now can you do this, then I should be flexible.
Yes.
Right?
We never can deny the services given by our authority as approved.
Even if you can express yourself sometimes a constraint, I'm not saying that, but in our stage it is better to accommodate as much as possible.
Thank you.
Unless that service is not compatible, and then